This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
No, this is not the way.
No, he did fall in love.
Can I perhaps hold the baby?
He doesn't take kindly to strangers.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely not the way. Hey guys, welcome to another video. Welcome. I'm going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 3, baby. But look forward to talking about this. There's a few things I gotta say, a few things I gotta rant about, and I just gotta spit the facts, guys. The Mandalorian has gone down the hill. It could come back up. It could come back. I still have faith. The Mandalorian could still rise above and still be a great show. But this season, Season 3, this feels like a Disney Star Wars show or Disney Star Wars product. The Mandalorian was hope. It was a new hope. Because Star Wars divided the fan base. Disney Star Wars divided the fan base. But The Mandalorian brought everyone together. Everybody loved The Mandalorian. Like, even people were hating on the Disney sequel trilogy. They loved The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian brought everyone. Everyone had the consensus that this was a great show. And it was. Now Season 3 is going to divide the fan base. Here we go again. Because there's going to be the people who just love everything Star Wars. Doesn't matter what Star Wars shits out. They're going to love it because Star Wars. And then there's people who just are not going to like it because this is the Disney Star Wars everybody was afraid was going to happen to all the property of Star Wars, and especially The Mandalorian. There's a lot of people that said if The Mandalorian goes downhill, they're done with Star Wars. There's a lot of people who have said that. And I'm telling you, Season 3 was the biggest letdown. Holy shit, I was so excited for Season 3 of The Mandalorian. The first 2 seasons of Mandalorian were top-notch, really great. First season was so good. It was like an old-school sci-fi western. Great relationship between Din Djarin and Grogu, Baby Yoda. There's so much mystery, intrigue, and great characters. Season 2 brings in more characters, brings in Ahsoka, Luke Skywalker, oh my god, Bo-Katan. Just so much amazing stuff happens in Season 2. Season 2 has one of the most emotional endings. And then they kind of ruined that with Boba Fett and bring Grogu back. I don't know why they brought Grogu back. I love Grogu, but you don't need Mandalorian and Grogu always together. You could have brought them back seasons ahead, but you gotta sell toys. You gotta get people saying, "Oh, look at the cute Grogu." Gotta say right now, Grogu does nothing this season, and you can tell Season 2 was their intention because they had no idea what to do with Grogu this season. He just kind of sits there and looks cute. You get a bit of his backstory, and that's really it. That could be just a one-episode kind of thing. But, he has nothing to do this season except look adorable. That's it. That's his only purpose in the whole Season 3. And it's just silly. I'm like, well, why'd you bring him back? You have nothing for him to do, then why is he here? All right, let's start with the rant. Spoilers, by the way. This season isn't really Din Djarin's season. It's Bo-Katan's season. It's Mandalorian Season 3, Bo-Katan. And the thing is, I really enjoyed Bo-Katan. Katie Sackhoff does a great job as Bo-Katan. I think Bo-Katan's a great character. I think she's a way better character than Sabine. And I really enjoyed Bo-Katan, but just give her her own show. Give her own little miniseries, a 4 or 5 episode miniseries like they did with Obi-Wan. Probably been fucking more interesting than Obi-Wan. I don't know why they just didn't give Bo-Katan her own show. And then Mando guest stars in it. But no, this entire Season 3 is her story. Din Djarin Mandalorian, he's the side character. He's just there to help her regain her throne and for her to unite all the Mandalorians together and stuff. This is her story, her arc, and this is all about Bo-Katan. And I'm like, okay, but it's The Mandalorian. Why is it all about Bo-Katan? It's and the thing is, I thought they were building to something. I really thought they were building to something. something really great and very deep and just like, oh, I see what they're doing. I see what they're doing. But then they don't do it. Because the best way to describe this season, other than letdown, is anticlimactic. This is a very anticlimactic season. See, Mando has the dark saber and Bo-Katan wants it so she can rule Mandalore and stuff. So she has to fight Din Djarin for the dark saber. And I thought this whole season was building on Bo-Katan and the Mandalorians' friendship, and in the final episode, they would have to fight each other. Maybe even to the death, I don't fucking know, probably not, but they would have to fight each other, and two friends going head-to-head for the right of the dark saber. I thought that's what this whole season was building towards. And it's not. It's not at all. She just gives it to him in the second or third last episode, the shitty one with Jack Black. I'll get to that. Yeah, she just gives it to him. She's like, well, technically, I saved your life because he beat you, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Apparently, the Darksaber is like wands in Harry Potter. I thought you always had to duel them, but no, apparently you could, disarm people. They basically just stole the plot synopsis, or side synopsis of the Harry Potter books. It's like, okay, I guess the Darksaber is like a wand. It's like... It just didn't make any... It's very confusing. And the thing is, I thought this was all built up to a fight between Din Djarin and Bo-Katan. And no, it's not. He's just like, oh, here you go. I'm like, really? That's it? All these episodes. And I was like, you ain't gonna fight each other? Fucking bullshit. And I didn't care who won. I don't even care who would win the fight. It's the fact that they have to fight. The friendship that they've been... having this season, and then they have to fight each other. That's stakes, man. That's like in Revenge of the Sith when Obi-Wan and Anakin fight. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of intention, there's a lot of emotionality in that fight sequence. Same with Return of the Jedi when Luke and Vader fight. There's a lot of emotionality. There could have been a lot of emotion in that fight, but fucking nothing happens. He just gives it to her. I'm like, what? And I gotta say about Din Djarin, Mandalorian, I love me some Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal's always great as usual, but not only was he a side character in this season, but he was like a damsel in distress. And I'm like, what happened to the badass Mandalorian? He kind of shows that in the final episode, but like the first two episodes, he's like fucking up everything. He's like trying to bathe himself in the water, and then he almost dies. Bo-Katan has to save him like 5 times in the first 2 episodes. I'm like, God, what are you doing? Like, the Mandalorian is a dumbass. Like, it was ridiculous. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Then there's a whole episode on Coruscant, and it's about characters I don't give a shit about. It was the most boring piece of crap episode. I'm like, wait, what are they doing? I don't give a fuck what's happening here. Go back to Din Djarin and Bo-Katan. Even though weird things are happening with the two of them, I still enjoy those 2 characters. But no, we got this guy, he worked with Moff Gideon, and then all these people, and they want to wipe his memory and all that shit. It all leads to the most predictable conclusion. I'm like, well, I knew that was going to happen. We had to spend a whole hour with all this shit, and it was so boring, and I didn't give a rat's ass about what was going on. And I'm just like, what is happening? It's like, I feel like they're like, hey, Book of Boba Fett, that show, goes in different directions and focuses on characters we don't give a shit about. Let's do that with the Mandalorian. Yeah, let's make it about that random guy on Coruscant. Oh, it's a Mandalorian, let's make it about Bo-Katan, because why not? Boba Fett did it, we can do it. I'm like, no. Focus on the titular character. And no offense, we're missing some Cara Dune, man. Like, she needs to come back. She was a great character, man. You need her. And then I love this another good episode. Mandalorian wants to get a robot to go to guide him, and he really wants this one robot. But the robot tries to kill them all, and I'm like, why do you could get any robot but that one, because it gave its life, and I'm like, why? Like, why? Who gives a shit about this fucking robot? It's like, oh my god, there's just so much shit happening. I'm like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And then let's talk about Jack Black and Lizzo. So the episode, we have Jack Black, we have Lizzo, and we got Christopher Lloyd. All of them make no sense. Well, no. Let me take that back. Christopher Lloyd's not bad. He's pretty good in this episode. He's a great actor, so he's not bad. And the only good thing, really, about this episode was seeing the battle droids again. That was fucking cool. But, like, Jack Black and Lizzo are so miscast. They were awful in this episode. Jack Black, I enjoy Jack Black, but he is god-awful in that episode. He is so over the top and cartoony. I'm like, this isn't even Star Wars. This is like Peter Pan or something, like a Disney. Well, it is Disney, but like it's like a fucking Disney Channel show now. Like, what the fuck is this? And Lizzo, I've never seen her act before, and after this, I don't want to see her act again. She's terrible. And that episode was terrible because all that shit happens in that episode. It's like this mystery that I didn't give a fuck about. And then it ends with the Mandalorian giving the Blacksaber to Bo-Katan. And yeah, a boring episode with a shit ending and shitty acting. And then the ending all builds up. It builds up to this thing. What is going on with Moff Gideon? I'm like, okay, come on, give me some good Moff Gideon. I enjoy Giancarlo Esposito as Moff Gideon. He's a great villain in this show. I'm like, what are you going to do with Moff Gideon? Give me the good stuff. Okay, you fucked up with Bo-Katan and Mandalorian. You fucked up with the whole Grogu doing nothing. You fucked up bringing Jack Black in the show and Lizzo. And, like, you kind of fucked up a lot in this season. But you know what? What about Moff Gideon? What are you going to do with Moff Gideon? Clones? It's like... we're going back to the sequel trilogy again with the Snoke and all this shit. The clones. Clones! He cloned himself. What? I'm like, really? That's where we're going with this? I thought they were going somewhere crazy with this. Like, he was trying to build a Sith army, or he was going to connect with a different character, maybe like a Snoke or something. Or I don't know what was going on. I don't know, but I thought something crazy was going on. Every time Moff Gideon's like mentioned, there's a lot of tension. I'm like, he's planning something, Moff Gideon. He cloned himself, though. I'm like, okay, they're all Force sensitive. Okay. And then at the end, they get rid of the clones pretty easily. Once again. Anticlimactic as shit. And I'm like, okay. Oh, it's over now? Oh, then the season ends? That's it? That was The Mandalorian Season 3? Moff Gideon clones? Bo-Katan being the main character in The Mandalorian and just giving the lightsaber to her? Grogu doing nothing? Boring political Coruscant shit? Jack Black and Lizzo? This is what Season 3 of The Mandalorian is. Man, what a fucking letdown. I'm sorry, I had to rant to you guys. This was so just, I wouldn't say bad, but really not good. Like, very mediocre. Like, sure, there were some good visuals. Good action scenes. Katie Sackhoff is always great. Pedro Pascal is always great. Giancarlo Esposito is always great. It was cool seeing some nostalgia stuff. And the uniting of the Mandalorians all together is really cool. There's some good conversations when Bo-Katan talks to Din Djarin's people and stuff. There's great stuff in this show and even in this season. But in hindsight, it's not great. And for us waiting all these years for Season 3, and this is what they give us, it's a huge letdown and very disappointed. I'm a little sad that they did this to The Mandalorian, man. Mandalorian was like, it was like the best show on Disney Plus, man. And it was like, I even said it, if it keeps going strong all the way to the end, man, this could be a top 20 of my favorite shows of all time. Definitely not after this season. Huge letdown. Sorry guys. That's I read this to you. So let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts, opinions on The Mandalorian Season 3? Did you enjoy it, or did you find it a huge letdown? Let me know your thoughts, opinions. Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please like, subscribe to this channel. Enjoy the ducks.